If a dingo caused this chaos in your community, how would you fight back? A wave of terror is sweeping across the Australian outback as dingoes brutally attack buffalo, kangaroos, wild pigs, and even a woman on a Queensland beach. With dingo numbers increasing by 15% since 2015, sheep herds have plummeted by 40%, devastating the livelihoods of pastoralists and spreading risk throughout rural communities. The invasive species stalks the moon, threatening not only livestock but also the delicate balance of nature, as unchecked kangaroos destroy vegetation. Will nature hold its ground, or will the dingoes claim victory? But confronting these predators requires absolute precision, where a neglected gun can be a betrayal. As the SSA's How to Clean and Maintain a Gun program hastily reveals, a barrel clogged with gunpowder residue will cause bullets to stray, turning hunters into prey in an instant. How long has it been since you scrubbed your rifle barrel with a copper brush soaked in solvent, or oiled the metal surface to prevent the dangerous adhesion of rust? This meticulous ritual is more than just maintenance, it's a survival knife. For dingo hunters, the ultimate technique is sniper accuracy from 100 to 200 yards. Aiming the .223 round with precision, quickly taking the sting out of a dusty fight. In the 1980s, rifle hunters in the Australian outback brought down dingo packs, reducing livestock numbers by more than 60% and reviving the booming sheep industry. But this relentless, blindly pursued slaughter has wreaked ecological chaos. The dingo hunting was not wrong, but its reckless, ecologically ill-conceived nature was a grave mistake. If governments were to switch to selective hunting, they could create a tense truce between pastoralist livelihoods and the balance of nature. As for hunting, I have found that night dingo hunting has proven highly effective for ranchers each year. Using night vision scopes, hunters aim at the right location and distance during peak activity hours. However, this high-risk hunting activity requires extreme vigilance. Low light poses a risk of misidentification, which impacts native species. Stray light exposes the hunter, requiring upwind movement and cover. Infrequent checks in remote areas increase errors, disrupting ecosystems. Hunters must work with authorities, use GPS and adhere to regulations, balancing livestock protection with ecological responsibility for sustainable results. Instead of dingo hunting, large, spring-loaded steel-leg traps, often padded to comply with humane regulations, are used along familiar territory trails, camouflaged under foliage and scented bait to attract the animals. Unlike fox traps, dingo traps are primarily used for larger dingoes. They are set in remote bushland due to their larger size, pack behaviour and native habitat, which require closer monitoring. The most effective annual dingo trapping is in late autumn to early spring from March to June, coinciding with the breeding season when dingoes are more active in search of mates and food is scarcer. The government offers a reward for dingo skins to encourage control, minimise initial livestock losses, and demonstrate short-term effectiveness in protecting the rural economy. However, over time, the dingo's adaptations to detect and avoid traps through the persistent scent of humans, obvious environmental disturbances, and learned behaviour from surviving pack members make this method less effective as the population adapts seasonally. So, what do you think is the best solution for the growth of the dingo population? Or should we just keep trapping and waiting in vain? Spanning over 3,500 miles, Australia's dingo fence stands as a steadfast barrier, shielding livestock from dingo predation and protecting ranchers' livelihoods from crippling losses. Yet this iconic structure, visible even from space, carves a deep wound across the outback's ecosystem. Satellite imagery starkly reveals that where dingoes are blocked, kangaroo populations surge, overgrazing vegetation and triggering soil erosion. This imbalance threatens biodiversity, with invasive species like foxes thriving unchecked, endangering native wildlife. The fence also severs Indigenous pathways, fracturing cultural ties to the land. So, I ask you, is this measure on the right path? Or is it fundamentally flawed? I'm Jack Harlan, a journalist covering hunting in the American West for over 20 years, writing for Peterson's Hunting and Yellowstone Journal since 2005. I've seen the coyote crisis unfold. Real stories from Montana's area of control to social media backlash changing lives. Coyotes seem like pests, but are we the cause? Critics call hunters cruel, yet who's asking why this conflict persists? Whether coyote hunting is right or wrong. Let's see what happens next. In 2018, I visited a Wyoming farmer who shared how coyotes had severely impacted his sheep flock in just 1 week. Coyotes have been a persistent problem since the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, when dust storms weakened livestock, making them easy targets. According to the USDA Wildlife Service, coyotes cause millions in economic losses to the livestock industry each year. However, they also play a role in controlling rodent populations, indirectly protecting crops from pests like voles. The core problem is the rapid growth of the coyote population due to their high reproductive rate. One of the standout methods I witnessed was aerial control, an approach that dates back to the 1930s and is still used today. A small plane hovers low over the vast grasslands of New Mexico, where I took my first flight in 2012 with Wildlife Services. The plane flies low to the ground to observe and intervene with a moving herd of coyotes, using its wide field of vision to access difficult terrain. This method works well in open terrain, where coyotes have difficulty hiding and can temporarily reduce populations in specific areas. However, the challenge lies in the coyote's adaptability, learning to avoid them by hiding in bushes or rough terrain, which complicates coyote hunting. Moving on to ground control, this is the traditional method I have observed on many ranches, which involves using a gun from the ground to directly intervene. Hunters use rabbit calls to attract coyotes within 50 to 100 yards, pique their curiosity. In 2023, 20,000 coyotes were managed using traditional hunting, according to Arizona wildlife records, especially during the open season. The hunter missed once, the wind changed direction, and the coyote was gone in seconds. If you successfully go coyote hunting, do you know the answer? Trapping is another approach I have followed since 2010 in Illinois, focusing on the use of wire or wire traps for passive coyote control. Traps are carefully placed along familiar coyote trails in snow-covered grasslands where tracks are easily identified. This method is most effective in the winter months of November through March, when food is scarce and coyotes travel farther, reducing their vigilance. Best management practices, BMPs, recommend the use of scientifically researched traps to ensure selectivity and humanness. However, common mistakes of placing traps incorrectly or neglecting to check the terrain can lead to poor results. And new guidelines in 2025 emphasize avoiding these mistakes to increase effectiveness. Trapping requires knowledge of coyote behavior, which avoids human areas in the summer while caring for the next generation. These methods, whether aerial, ground, or trapping, often draw backlash from the community, especially when the content goes viral on social media. I noted a case in 2019 in Osage County, where a coyote control video led to criticism from organisations like the Humane Society, which said it was inhumane. These backlashes can lead to negative messaging that can impact the personal lives of those involved. The problem is that social media can magnify events, making images misleading, and highlighting the importance of being aware of how information is shared. Leave a comment on this issue to find common ground. The escalating conflict between farmers and black bears in rural America is pushing many to the brink as the powerful animals destroy crops and threaten livelihoods. Black bears cause more than 30,000 crop damage incidents each year, including one particularly devastating incident in the eastern United States, where 50 acres of corn were wiped out in just 3 days, costing $60,000. Despite efforts to protect crops with high electric fences, the bears have proven their intelligence and tenacity by breaking through the fences. Weighing up to 350 pounds, black bears ravage fields, destroying corn stalks. Satellite imagery shows the sheer scale of the destruction as the bear family arrives. It's not just a financial burden, it's an increasing danger to farmers. As the devastation caused by black bears has increased, many farmers have turned to controlled hunting as a means of controlling bear populations.
It's down.
In Western states, this method has become an important tool to balance the need to protect agriculture. However, black bear hunting is no simple task, requiring specialized skill and patience. A typical hunt can last anywhere from 3 to 10 days, depending on weather conditions and terrain. Hunters must traverse challenging terrain, from open plains to dense forests, where only the most experienced can effectively track their prey. Black bear hunting seasons in the United States are tightly regulated, with hunts divided into two main periods: spring, when bears emerge from hibernation, and fall, when they prepare for winter. Each season lasts from a few weeks to a month, and each state has its regulations regarding the number of bears that can be hunted each year. On average, between 700 and 1,300 black bears are hunted each season. Safety is the top priority for hunters, as black bears can be aggressive, especially when threatened. Tracking is crucial, with bears leaving signs like scat, claw marks and footprints, and adult bear marks 5 to 7 spots in a 250 acre area daily. Skilled hunters use these signs to track and approach bears, cautiously aiming for a safe shot from 50 to 80 yards. Precision and situational awareness are essential for success. Another important aspect of black bear hunting is the use of hounds, which is a legal method in some states. hounds undergo months of rigorous training, learning to track and stalk bears in difficult terrain. With the help of electronic tracking devices, hunters can track the dog's location in real time, ensuring their safety and the success of the hunt.
It's a female.
GPS devices have revolutionized bear hunting by allowing hunters to track their dogs over large areas. And these technologies have reduced the number of stray hounds.
Yep.
Despite the regulation of hunting, black bear hunting remains a controversial issue. Environmentalists and animal rights groups argue that bear hunting can lead to population imbalances and illegal trade in bear parts, both of which are associated with severe penalties, including heavy fines and jail time. The debate is further complicated by the fact that some bear populations are at risk of being overexploited, making managing these animals a delicate balancing act. However, the challenge remains: how do we balance agricultural protection with maintaining healthy bear populations? But both hunting and technology are key to managing this conflict. A thoughtful and sustainable approach is needed to address the growing tension between humans and black bears. Finding effective solutions requires collaboration between farmers, wildlife experts, and hunters to protect the environment and maintain agricultural production. What do you think about the combination of conservation and development? Share your views in the comments. Why are Florida monkeys so aggressive toward humans? This puzzling question remains unanswered as attacks continue to escalate. Reports indicate that this year alone, there have been more than 300 monkey attacks in the city, leaving countless pedestrians vulnerable to unexpected attacks. These unpredictable encounters often result in hospitalizations, but fortunately, none have been fatal, thanks to quick medical response. If you or someone you know is in such a situation, call Florida Emergency Medical Services at 1-800-HELPF, FLA. According to some sources, in 2023, the world lost an area of primary forest equivalent to about 3.7 million hectares of primary tropical forest destroyed. In Florida, land expansion and logging have led to the loss of habitat for many animals, including monkeys. Although there are no specific figures on the area of forest lost and the number of monkeys affected in Florida, habitat loss due to logging is one of the reasons why monkeys become aggressive and attack humans to protect their territory. The number of monkeys attacking residential areas in Florida is increasing, causing the situation to get out of control. They not only steal food, but also attack agricultural areas, causing damage estimated at up to $50 million per year. Disrupting public order has a serious impact on the environment as they take food scraps from humans, degrading natural ecosystems and increasing the monkeys' dependence on artificial food sources. With the problem getting worse, Florida authorities have opted to use long-range rifles like the FX DRS Pro and FX Panthera that can target monkeys at ranges up to 600 yards. However, monkey hunting is not an indiscriminate act. Hunters must follow seasonal hunting regulations, with the main hunting season being from May to October, and the number of monkeys knocked down during this season can reach hundreds. In particular, monkeys are often active in dense areas and climb quickly, so hunters must keep a distance of at least 300 yards to avoid being detected. To assist in hunting, they use specialized binoculars that can accurately observe at ranges up to 1,000 feet to ensure each shot is accurate and humane. Monkey hunting occurs in rugged mountainous terrain concentrated in areas such as the Ocala National Forest. This difficult terrain requires hunters to develop specialised hunting skills, including observation techniques and mastering how to lie still and conceal themselves to avoid detection by monkeys. Training typically lasts 3 to 6 months and includes learning how to use weapons, identify monkey habitats and handle emergencies. The program is licensed and regulated by agencies such as the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, which ensures hunters adhere to safety regulations for monkey hunting. Monkey hunting is a common method of population control in the United States, but it raises many ethical concerns. Hunters must adhere to strict regulations to protect ecological balance and ensure safety. environmental scientists work with hunters to minimize negative impacts such as disruption of the food chain. The state of Florida only allows hunters to hunt adult monkeys and does not allow the hunting of pregnant or juvenile monkeys. To address this problem, Japan has implemented an acoustic deterrent to ensure driver safety and prevent collisions with monkeys. Motion sensor systems that can detect monkeys before they cross the road are also considered a good idea. Camels in Saudi Arabia regularly cause serious traffic accidents. Truck drivers flash their lights to warn others, but some do not react in time. Colliding with a 1,300-pound camel is like crashing into a concrete wall. Fortunately, the vehicle owner is safe. If you encounter this situation on the road, call the rescue center immediately. Which moment shocked you the most? Comment below. Have you seen this place before? Click the like button if you have seen this situation in real life. Moose are very large and can weigh over 1,000 pounds. If you steer too hard, you could lose control and crash into another car. You should not take that risk on Alaskan roads. The government needs to act by installing more wildlife warning signs and barriers to mitigate the worst impacts. Installing better lighting and other safety measures is essential to protect drivers and invasive species. Authorities urge drivers to recognize the glowing eyes of boars at night. Without dash cams, we probably would never witness the chaos unfolding on the roads. In horse racing, improving the track surface and checking the health of the horses before each race is important to minimise the risk of injury to the riders. Do not try to avoid it, but brake suddenly and keep the car straight to reduce the force of the collision. Besides building fences, educating people about dangerous roads and how to recognise wild boars based on their eye reflexes at night is also important. The roads of Japan's Hokkaido are no stranger to unexpected and dangerous encounters with invasive species. Many of these accidents occur in areas with limited visibility. Nearly 40% of deer accidents happen during mating season in October and November. Hit the like button if you've ever been in a collision like this. Colorado's wildlife overpass has reduced deer collisions by 80%. 22. Do all high-risk areas need to adopt these solutions? Authorities have warned drivers to turn on their headlights and slow down when traveling through the South Texas region. Drivers must not only keep a tight grip on the steering wheel, but also stay alert at all times. What if the driver is going over 50 mph? I recommend you protect yourself by driving slowly through livestock areas. The story doesn't end here. Can modern technology help reduce these accidents? Don't forget to follow and watch the next part to discover the most effective prevention measures.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.